Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Notary Titans. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020 or 2020. And my name is Bill Soroka. I'm the founder of NotaryCoach.com and author of the Sign and Thrive book, How to Make Six Figures as a Mobile Notary and Loan Signing Agent. We're excited to have you here today for the coaching call. It's just going to be myself and Laura today. We have given Carol the day off. And maybe Laura's taking the day off too, although it's probably just internet connectivity issues. Seems to be tons of those to go around right now. So guys, this call is your time. It is for you to ask questions, to connect in the chat, to present challenges, obstacles, share your wins with us. We love hearing that kind of stuff too. First things first, we're back on track. We'll do a couple giveaways today to anybody on the call. There's no strings attached. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do any of that. We're just going to save it to the very end. Anybody who wants to participate, you certainly can participate. All you have to do is register with your name and email address so I have a list to pull from at the end of the call. That link is notarycoach.com/prize. If you're listening, I also included it in the chat window for you. So let's do another sound check again for Laura Biewer. Biewer? Anyone? Biewer? All right. She's probably working hard on her end to get started. So we will go ahead and dive in here. Now, guys, the real value of the Tuesday Notary Titans call is to have all three of us, with Carol Ray from Notary to Pro, Laura Biewer from Coach Me Laura, and then, of course, myself, who have built six-figure businesses as loan signing agents. We don't have everybody here today, but I'm here. I'll be happy to offer your perspective, and I know Laura will jump in as well. So to ask your question, please raise your hand. You can do that by clicking on participants, click on your name, and they'll have some options for raising your hand. Is there anybody who has that burning question on your mind right now that would like to ask? All right, bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to send.
I'm here.
Hi there.
I was having problems getting in. I can't start my video. Failed. What is wrong?
You know, I heard somebody else saying that in the chat window as well. So it could be some Zoom issues, it could be internet issues, could be any number of things,
Okay.
but I'm glad you made it.
Thank you. I just came back from Oakland, so I just barely got in the door.
Oh, perfect timing. Perfect timing. All right. Well, thanks for being here. We've already kind of done the intro and got started. We have our first hand up. Laura, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Daniel Brewer, thank you so much for raising your hand. Would you like to unmute?
Hi, how are you guys?
Excellent. Thanks for being here. How can we help?
Well, I'm new to all this, and I've already had a quick chat with Laura a couple of weeks ago, and I just joined your group.
Oh.
So I think I have my first signing tomorrow. But one of my big questions, and I'm kind of nervous, but one of my big questions is when it says fax backs. So I don't have a dedicated fax line in my house. I use a cell phone. I have an all-in-one printer. I bought an OBI fax line, and it turns out you have to have a phone for that to set that up. So do I need to have I really don't want to have another phone line, a landline in my house. I could use a Magic Jack or something like that. What do people do about the faxing problem?
Great question. And what is a landline anyway? Who uses those things? So the good news is that faxbacks, oh, Laura raises her hand, of course. She's got a fax line, everything. She's all equipped. So when they say faxbacks, these days they can mean scanbacks as well. Just meaning that you scan it in and you can securely send them, email them, upload them usually, or many of these companies have portals where you can just upload them securely. You can also, like if you use GoDaddy's fax line, they have a internet fax. So you can scan it in and you can scan it or then fax it to a phone number, actual fax number as well.
I don't really want to pay like a service $20 a month just for faxing, or do I?
No, no, not necessarily at all. It's just scan backs. All of it, most of us just scan back, and there's lots of different scanning options too. In fact, I put my 3 favorite scanners on my YouTube channel. If you just search on it for scanners, it'll bring up the Tiny Scanner Pro, which is a smartphone app that's like $5 that works when you're in a jam. If you want something that's a little more mobile and can handle like 15 to 20 pages, the Fujitsu Scan Snaps are real handy. And then they have bigger versions too, right? You can get the bigger Fujitsus. You can get the, my favorite is the Brother ADS 2000. I can get like 70, 80 pages in there. So basically a full package to scan. That's my favorite. Laura, any suggestions on that? She's good and muted.
So I have a scanner that can have a fax, but can I just scan to a PDF and email it, or?
You know, it's not a big deal, really. Pretty much everybody accepts scan backs, or they make you load up. A lot of them now are starting to want you to upload so that they're encrypted into their portal.
So fax
That's really the newest
scan
thing.
back.
Yeah, scan back or encrypted through the portal. Fax back is old school. It's for people like me who've been around forever. That was the technology.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
you're scanning it into a PDF and then sending it to somebody or uploading it.
Yeah, and you can, yep, that's pretty much it. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You have full control of what you do with it after that. Congratulations on your first signing, Daniel. I'm sure you'll knock it out.
We'll see how it goes. Thanks.
All right, you got it. Have a good day. All right, thank you. Now, I've got some weird feedback. I just want to make sure everybody's on mute. That should be on mute. Laura, that's not you.
Okay.
And then Will, I see your hand up. If you'd like to ask your question, we're here for you.
Yes, hi. How is everybody?
Doing good. Thanks for being here. How can we help?
Good. It's actually funny because Dan just asked the same question that I was going to ask one of. I'm a new notary. I'm a full-time school teacher that's going to take this job on for my summer job / part-time. I haven't done a signing yet. I'm a graduate of Notary to Pro. So my question was, I see scan backs versus fax backs, and I was going to ask, are they the same? So kind of got that question answered for me.
All right, good. We killed it. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yes, I do have a second question is, Carol recommends in the program to use Notary Act. Now I'm here in New Jersey where a journal is not necessary. Of course, obviously I do use one. And is it okay to use an electronic journal like Notary Act?
Yeah, great idea. If I could use an electronic journal, I'd be all over it.
Okay, because here in New Jersey, there's scan bars on New Jersey licenses. So all I do is hold my phone up to it. It scans and all the information goes right in, minus their signature and what kind of act it was. And so just wanted to make sure that was acceptable to use.
Yeah, so Will, I just want to clarify for everybody else on the call too. So if your state allows an electronic journal, great. It's a great option. In those states where there's no rules about it because they don't require a journal, you can pretty much do anything that you want. Just remember what the goal of the purpose of the journal is to document. And so you cover your tail. If you get called into court or somebody disputes a notarization that you did, you want to have that information. So if New Jersey allows electronic, great. If some states don't even allow it.
They don't necessarily say they allow electronic, they just say they don't require a journal. So I would assume that it's allowed. Okay.
Yeah, they can't regulate something they don't require.
Exactly. And the last thing as far as encryption, if I was going to scan back documents, can I use our records? Is that a good source for encrypting my email to send it back to
I think that's exactly why Carol suggested.
Yes.
And she suggests using that exactly for the encryption. So absolutely.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome, Will. Thank you for addressing that and bringing that up. And I love that we have two people right in the very beginning. And I love that you guys are committed to your training. If there's anybody on the call who's just starting out and has not committed to some kind of training, I highly encourage you to please not just wing this business. This business can change your life. It can change the lives of your clients because they're You're notarizing documents that are literally transferring wealth. It's assigning life and death decisions to other people. This is a big deal. It is worthy of scrimping, scrambling, finding a training program that you can relate to so you can do this job optimally, help other people, and change your life for you and your business. Laura, did you have anything on that? Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. I had somebody reach out to me who's in Virginia, and she'd gotten a letter from the state bar, Virginia State Bar, that she's accused of practicing law because she did something, and there was a complaint filed, and she did something that's construed as, which is providing and preparing a document for the signer. And she said, oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that. And of course, it created a big problem. The signer then complained, and now they're doing an investigation, and she could be found guilty of a misdemeanor offense, which includes jail time and loss of her commission. And she's a newer notary. And I just bring this to your attention, not to scare you, but to help you understand that if you don't know when you do something, there can be severe repercussions from it. So please, 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 get training and get somebody to help guide you to make sure that you don't make a mistake. It was just a mistake on her part because she didn't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Sometimes it's so easy to become a notary that it's almost like the state governments have trained us to think this is no big deal. Oh, just fill out a piece of paper, pay your fine or pay your fee, and you're good to go. But there is so much responsibility that comes with this. So it's so important that we dive in on this. So I honor you guys for all being here and taking that on. So thank you, Dan and Will, for that as well.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, my name's Ted. Is it okay? Can you hear me?
Ted, I'm gonna have to. Do you mind? We got about 10 people ahead of you that have questions.
Oh,
Did you have a question about this in particular, or something else?
This in particular, but that's okay. I can wait. I can wait. I'm learning.
Okay,
learning.
awesome.
So
Awesome. Thank you for being here, and I'm glad the technology's working for us. Okay. I'm gonna go to Mr. iPhone first, or iPhone, or however you pronounce it. Your hand is up. Guys, you can always change your settings on Zoom too, so you can change your name so we know who you are. So iPhone, do you know who you are?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, this is Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.
And hi, good afternoon. I have my first signing too this afternoon, and I'm a new notary. And I have a couple of questions, and I want to go back to, so I don't forget what Laura just mentioned about being a new notary. You know, I don't want to make any mistakes. This is a refi, and I got this directly, so I didn't get it through a signing company.
Great. Wow.
So I just want her to repeat what she was saying about, and I can't remember exactly what she said about the person in Virginia and repercussions if you make a mistake. So I want to make sure I do this correctly. So as far as oaths and affirmations and what applies, I understand that for jurats involved, you know, that I give, I believe it's an oath for that one, or I can't remember if it's an oath or an affirmation. So I just need to be clear on that, as far as those two, what I need to do.
Okay, so if you have a jurat, the difference between an oath and an affirmation would be an oath is going to invoke a supreme being. I swear to God, it's true. An affirmation has the same power. It means that you're under the penalty of perjury. If you lie, you go to prison. So either one will work. If they don't like to invoke a supreme being, then they can say, I so affirm that the document is true. And so you would, I like the ritual or ceremony of having them raise their hand and for you to mirror that when you ask them that question. It really just makes it a moment that they're going to remember and realize, sorry about that, and realize how important it is. They're not just saying, yeah, this is pretty significant. So the oath for you is not on the document. It's something you just need to memorize. Do you swear or affirm the statements in your document are truthful? They can say, I so affirm, or I so swear. And there you go.
Yep. Did that answer your question there, Sharon? Oh, I think she muted herself again. There you go. I can't unmute you. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Now, does that oath, can you just say it once to cover the entire signing, or do you need to say that over and over again for each document that you're notarizing?
So there are some different or varying opinions about that. My opinion, based on what I know in the state of California particularly, says that we will do it per time that we have something to fill out. So the oath belongs to that particular notarization for that document. And if I have 3 other ones, I'm going to repeat that, and that's how I do it. I ask them raise their right hand at the moment that I'm filling out the jurat certificate.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Many state statutes are not clear about that, and so I think it's important for people to realize that the most important thing is do it. Even if it's once and you say it applies to everything, that's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my strategy, guys. And you'll see this from the script that I provided in the book. I provide it in my course as well. If the oath is probably one of the most underused and skipped portions of the signing appointment. And in some states, there's a heavy penalty for doing so. So if you at least just blend it into some portion of your conversation, or as a best practice, of course, when you think about the intent of the law is they're swearing to the truthfulness contained inside that document. It would be important. Like if you had to defend yourself in court, it probably would be important to do an oath on every single document. So it's best practice, normal practices, and then lots of stuff in between.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet. All right, I'm gonna lower that. Garrett Smith, thanks for being here. How can we help? You have to unmute yourself first, though.
Hello, Bill. How's it going?
It's going so good. Good to see you.
Good. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Hey, I've got a question for you, Bill, especially with regards to, I know what you do. I'm out here in New Mexico, and I've got a couple of young people, young adults, who are interested in becoming signing agents out here, but they want to work underneath me. And so I said, okay, and I know these people pretty well. I said, okay, well, you know, because they don't have the capital outlay to do their equipment, to get their, you know, that type of thing. So I'm trying to work up a structure where where it comes through me, and then I would take a certain percentage of the fees to, you know, because since I'm putting up the capital for this type of thing, and they would work underneath my LLC, underneath my umbrella. What would you say, and because I know it's different than a signing company, because the signing company doesn't provide you with equipment or, you know, all that, whereas I am, what would you say would be a fair percentage of fees to require from them to do this?
Interesting question. So first, what I would say is a couple of things. Number one, this is a signing company. This is exactly what you're doing. And there are local signing companies. If you happen to live in a city where a signing company is based, many of them offer this, where you can swing by the office, you can pick up documents, they'll print them out for you, you can drop them off in their lockbox and stuff like that. So that's really what we're talking about. And when you start doing that, it's going to be difficult to contain it and try to not call it. We just need to call it what it is. It's a signing company. And if you set it up like a signing company, then you can scale very quickly if you're going to do that. The other thing I would say is be diligent in your screening of who you bring into your organization, because if they're hesitant to take an entrepreneurial risk in the very beginning, then bumps, challenges, obstacles, hiccups they'll very quickly just hit it and they'll turn around and leave because they don't have anything invested. They don't have the time, the energy, and the resources invested. And I've learned that the hard way. So that's the only reason I even suggest that to you right now. Now, all that said, you're still going to move forward with this because you're excited about it. They're excited about it.
Right.
So when you do that, I think I don't like to quote what signing companies, what percentage they should take at all. What I do is I kind of work backwards. Like I have a minimum. I will never pay a notary less than $100 for a loan signing appointment, whether that's a seller, buyer, whatever, you know, and I've played with that throughout the years as we figured this out, but now I'm like, yeah, I'm never paying less than $100. So whatever the pricing is over that, sometimes I'm only getting paid $75 for a signing. I still pay out $100. Sometimes I'm getting paid 200 and I'll pay out 100, 125, 150 we're doing right now in COVID, or 175 sometimes. It just depends on those things. So you need to do enough so you can pay your bills, thrive, and essentially you're going to be compensating yourself for the vision and your network. That's really what people are getting excited about, is your ability to make it rain for other people.
Well, so
going out and building connections.
So that's why I wanted to ask you, because this is different than I see as a signing company, whereas a signing company is soliciting business actively. Whereas I'm saying, look, get on SnapDocs, go with some of these companies. You guys get the orders yourselves, accept them, work off of your schedule. But I'm going to provide the equipment. I'm going to provide the toner. I'm going to provide the paper. I'm going to provide the E&O and the bonds and the training in exchange for the percentage of fees.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different than say if I were say, Coast to Coast or somebody like that, or Timios, so it's a little different. And so that's why I wanted your feedback on that.
Okay, great. So we are talking about two different things. You're basically a copy center. I'm
basically a copy center.
You're just running it out of your house. So there, I couldn't provide any advice on fees, but it'd be very, very minimal, because you've got to charge enough for it to be worth your while. But
right.
If they're already working with signing companies or getting signings from SnapDocs, their profit margins are like this. There's nothing there. If I was going to do it, I might do it more as an investor, or maybe as a loan program where you just set up a bulk package. You said, look, I'm going to get you started. We're going to do this, or you're just going to lease from me. It's going to cost you $25 a month, or whatever you decide to come up with that's worth your time to pay all your expenses. That's a tough one. And if you'd like to talk privately about this, Garrett, set up a call with me on my call schedule link, and let's dig in a little bit deeper on this, because that's a very unique approach.
Yeah, so that's interesting you asked that, because I actually got on to see if I could do that. And right now you're scheduled out a month. So, yes. Or don't have anything in June. So yep. I thought, well, I'll just jump on today and kind of see if you could give me any preliminary feedback to begin with.
Yeah, well, there's the preliminary, and if you want to dig deeper, I'm here for you. And guys, okay. if you're part of Sign and Thrive, or we have a connection and you have my cell phone number, please shoot me a text message. Don't get frustrated because I'm not available. I have to limit my calendar, right? I'm a human being over here. But if you've got a call and you want to get in, and you've got a great idea like this, Garrett, in a unique situation, I love this stuff. Shoot me a text and just say, hey, I booked a call July 15th, but I'd love to chat with you this week. Are you available? And I'll get you in. We'll find a way to get you in.
Okay. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, you bet. Good luck, Garrett.
Thanks.
All right, Gloria Barajas Holt. If you'd like to unmute and ask your question, I'd love to hear it. Gloria, I'm gonna try to unmute you. There you go.
Oh, hi, Bill. There you go.
Hi.
Hey, thanks so much for having these meetings. They're awesome. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I have 3 little questions. I hope they won't take up too much time, if it's okay.
Sure.
Okay. One of them is that due to time constraints, I want to try to focus on escrows, banks, and lenders. Is there a resource where I can get these people's phone numbers and emails?
Great question. There's actually quite a few of them.
Okay.
One of my favorites is the hunter.io. And I'm sorry, we got some feedback. Guys, if you're not talking right now, can you mute yourself? So Gloria, there's a Chrome extension called hunter.io.
Okay.
And you can type into it, Fidelity Title or Amity Homes or whatever it is, and it will bring up any email addresses and contact information associated with that name. It becomes
awesome.
Really handy when you're looking for decision makers.
Right, awesome. Okay.
The other thing that you can use is LinkedIn. It's an amazing resource. And literally, guys, on Monday, we're doing a LinkedIn training, but if there's anybody that you need in this industry to connect with, they are probably on LinkedIn. Real estate agents, loan officers, escrow officers, attorneys.
for the phone for you. Will you call me? Tell me in my phone.
Somebody's, okay.
Yes, we had a little bit of interference there.
Okay. Okay, the second question is about a business name. Would you recommend that the business name be linked or similar to all your other social media, your corporation and all of that? Should it be the same or similar?
Great question. Laura, do you want to talk a little bit about branding and having a matching name, or you want to tag team this one?
Did you go first? I want to think about that for a moment.
No problem. So for me, I like to rewind and think about the customer experience, because that's really what we're going for here, right? So even though I might be in love with a name, and I have been in love with some names of my businesses before, but they're hard to spell. The domain spells something dirty or gross whenever you type it into the .com. I'm like, oh, well, there goes that idea. So you really want to think about your consumer experience. What would be easier for them to remember? What would be easy for you to remember? And whatever that is, when you choose your name, I start with the domain. If I can't get the domain, I don't want the name. And then I would match my Facebook page to that, any of my branding, because that's consistent branding. I don't want somebody to be on LinkedIn seeing a post from me under one business name, and then they'll see it under a different business name on Facebook. It gets too confusing for people. So even though I've changed my business name a lot through the years, I've changed everything about it at the time. So my Facebook page, the domains, the label and heading on my invoices, all that good stuff. Laura, did you come up with anything I missed there?
Also with that, would you also match, like I've got an S Corp, should that also match? Because that's how I would be getting paid.
Great question too. So my opinion on this is S Corp LLC, that can operate behind the scenes. You can call it whatever you want.
Oh,
that's a legal entity, and you can still have a name that you name it someone else, AKA for your business, basically.
Right.
So
okay, cool.
That's what I would do. Laura, did you have anything else on that?
You know, I still struggle with that. I started with one identity, and everything for 16 years is that identity at your service mobile notary. I had the name of the company, I had what my business was, and everything built from there, because all that social media stuff wasn't even out when I started, right? So then I already had that in place. Now, as I transition and have other services that I provide, I'm having a new identity flow from that. Now I've got to figure out, how to sync up the two. So not just new people have these questions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a constant ongoing thing too. That's part of business ownership too. And I think as you get in, you have one perspective when you're first starting out, and then you get some experience and you're like, well, this name doesn't make sense anymore, and I want it to be this. Or you want something regional or something bigger. Maybe you went super small and now you're a big signing company. You have to change your name. So keep flexibility in line with that. Okay, guys, I'm just going to just stop everybody for a moment here. I'm going to mute everybody because we got so much background, and I am removing the ability for you guys to unmute yourself. I'm so sorry, but we just got too many interruptions. And I'm trying to unmute. Come on, Laura. There you go.
Will I unmute? Okay.
I was trying, yeah.
I tend to stay muted because there's noise in my house, so I try to.
Thank you for that. All right, so let's go ahead and get Victoria now. So Victoria, I am unmuting you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Ah, there you go.
Okay, yeah, I'm on my iPhone. I'm trying, it already had timed out and trying to wake it up and figure out where am I. Question on, I get a lot of loan docs from a certain signing company, and what are the thoughts about typing, open up my my documents in Adobe, and for all my certificates, go ahead and just type my name in and the date, and then print them. You follow? Normally, you go instead of you go to the city, the signing, and you fill out the notarial certificates by hand. But because I have access to Adobe, I can open and edit, and type in my name and type in my date and just take care of that up front.
Yeah, I think we just talked about this a couple weeks
I
ago.
I missed
Laura,
it, sorry.
yeah, no worries. I'm glad you brought it up again. I know people have questions about this. So Laura, you want to take this one?
Yeah, all I want to say is however you get it done up front, whether it's by hand or doing it this way, it's certainly allowable. The only thing you don't do up front is sign and stamp. Everything has to be redone.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, of course. That's a no-brainer, that part. Okay, that was it. That was my only
Okay.
question.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Victoria.
Okay, bye.
Gabriel, thank you so much. I'm going to unmute you now. Or at least I'm trying. Maybe you can. I love technology. I love technology.
When you were trying to unmute me, Bill, a message came up and I had to touch unmute me now.
Oh, okay. So
Or
Gabriel, can you, I'm trying to unmute you. Can you click that message that says unmute? Okay, so let's try this. Gabriel, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Did he go away?
Gabriel? All right, we'll come back to Gabriel. Julie Adams, thank you for your patience. You can unmute and ask your question.
Hey, Bill, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I was wondering if you had addressed already, I didn't want to, any repetition, if you'd addressed the RUN certification yet, what your thoughts are, or suggestions on that, where the industry may be going in regard to that?
Yeah, we talk about Ron a lot on this call and on our other calls. So I'm happy. I'll give a real quick synopsis here. If you're in a state that has passed legislation, like full-on legislation for Ron, it's probably,
Texas.
Yeah. Well, I'm for everybody who's listening as well. If they have passed legislation and it's something that you would be interested in, it's a service that you would be interested in providing, then it's worthy of looking at. The thing is that you need to know is that it is confusing to everybody up the chain right now. It's just not clear, even in states like Texas. It's starting to kind of pan out and even out a little bit, but there's real confusion from the Secretary of State's office, from the office that provided their plan, from the legislatures, from the platforms. The platforms aren't necessarily ready for this kind of surge either. So there's customer service issues, there's all kinds of things, and expense. This is a new branch. It's a new service that you're going to be providing. It's going to require investment in the digital certificate, investment in training, possibly investment in supplies, computers, camera, making sure you have that kind of equipment, and then the platforms have their own expenses. So it's not something to just say, oh, I guess I'll go be Ron today. It's really a big business decision. So you want to honor that decision. Now, for some, the idea of being able to provide that service works really well. Some people enjoy, you can be in your boxers and have a nice shirt on and be able to do your notarizations all day. For some of us, we love life on the road. So that's just not something that we would necessarily want to include in our arsenal. The thing is, I do not believe that the whole industry is going that way. I know that Ron is not for everybody, and Laura and I have talked about that a lot. Sometimes you can't even get people approved on their ID verified to even do this. And some people still appreciate the human connection. And this has so many kinks in it, guys, that there's some people who just can't, and they just don't want to right now. And Laura, I know you have an opinion on this too.
Well, similar. Mine is that when you look at the states that have emergency orders, and it's not a well thought out legislative act, there's no accommodation for technology fees. So if you're in a state that you're not making much on notarizations to begin with, you're upside down. And that may not be something you want to jump in, other than if it's just a learning thing and you want to learn how to do it. For those where there is a technology fee available that allows you to make a profit still while you're doing it from home, great. But what I'm most concerned with is that everybody thinks that anybody can do Ron, and not everybody can. It's really meant for US citizens who have Social Security numbers. So if you're from Canada and you happen to be here, or even you're calling in from Canada, you don't have a US Social Security number, boom, you're out. You don't qualify. If you moved here, or if you're young, or if you're old and you don't have active credit history enough for them to develop the KBA questions, you're out. If you don't have the right kind of ID, which is your state driver's license or non-driver's ID, I think maybe a US passport, maybe on some, but not on all platforms. After that, you're out. So look at all the reasons that you can't even get qualified to be a part of that process. And until they get a lot of that worked out, I think it's limited.
Yeah, and I'll share a couple other things with you guys too, just real quick. There's been some challenges. Laura, was it you and I talking about this, about how the secondary market, some of the investors that buy these huge bulks of loans, they're refusing to buy the RON notarized notes and deeds because they haven't been challenged in court yet. So they don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to be liable for those things or not? So that's going to really slow some of the momentum down on the loan signing side. The other thing, guys, is when you're choosing your platform, if you hear all this and you're still moving forward with it, when you choose your platform, this is a huge part of your decision, is do they allow independent notaries on their platform? If they do not allow independent notaries on their platform, there's a really good chance that this does not work for your business. And what that means is they allow you to be on their platform and you can bring your own customers. You can do your own notarizations. Some of them, you require a relationship with the title company or the lender that's doing that transaction. And you can't bring your general notary work. You can't bring another loan signing client. You can't do that on those platforms. So that's a big consideration before you make your final decision on that.
Before we move off this topic, Ms. Kamei said she had an important RON update, and I'd like to bump her in real quick.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Can you unmute her?
Yes.
Hey, Laura. Hey, Bill. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for allowing me to bump in on this particular topic. I've spent a lot of time, many hours here in the state of Nevada looking into the RON and an e-notary platform. So I'm speaking specifically to the state of Nevada. Bill, you are absolutely correct. There is a lot of confusion within the Secretary of State's office here in Nevada. The Secretary of State's office is really kind of punting everything over to the approved solutions providers that are I guess, kind of regulating these platforms, which is a huge red flag for me. I'm a legal professional. I've worked in the legal field for 17 years. Being a notary and having our stamp and our electronic signature in the possession and control of these platforms is a huge concern for us as notaries, because as you all know, we are supposed to keep those under lock and safe. And so the notarized.com platform is a platform that I was actively pursuing. As Bill said, the notarized.com platform is technically an employer. They 1099 you, which means you're a contract employee. They pay you every 2 weeks. You are paid $5 for the first notarization and $1 for each additional notarization within that same transaction. The biggest concern for me with this particular platform, they do not disclose it to you. They do not make a mention of it at all whatsoever until you pass their video test. They actually feed you a contract that you have to sign in order to work on their platform. So as Bill was saying, this is a platform that does not allow you to bring your own independent business to that platform. You only are allowed to do work that they feed to you. In this particular agreement, it's about a 13-page contract, you guys, that has language in it. And I'm familiar with these types of contracts because of my legal career. There's language in this contract that potentially could prevent you from going to any other solutions provider and working on that platform. It's called a non-compete agreement. And the term period is for 12 months. So this is not a contract that just your regular notaries, and I mean no disrespect to you guys on this, but we're legal professionals for a reason, right? There's a reason why we have lawyers. this is not a contract that just your regular notary should be looking at and attempting to interpret if they're going to consider working on this platform. The language is there that could potentially prevent you from working as an e-notary on any other platform for a period of 12 months. So whatever state you guys are in, as Bill and both Laura have shared, there's a lot of confusion. There's still so much that has to be worked out regarding the e-notary and the RON platforms. If any of them try to give you a contract to work on their platform, I strongly encourage you guys to reach out to a lawyer and have them review that contract before you sign it and consider working with them.
I think that's great advice. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Kimmy. You know
Legal
what's
Shield is
yeah,
what I
and
would say.
exactly. And we're big advocates of Legal Shield. Legal Shield will give you a free contract review as part of your membership as well. And that's perfect for stuff like this.
Exactly.
Guys, this is not unique to Ron. You know, there's signing companies out there that have you sign contracts, and you have to be really careful because there are a couple of them out there. I haven't seen them recently, but a couple of years ago, they were having non-compete exclusivity clauses where you could only work for them. And if they can't guarantee, if they're not giving you a promise or a guarantee to revenue and income for you, it is not a wise business decision to ever enter a non-compete if you're not being compensated. It's got to be a win-win, guys. And this is what we say when we're committed to win-win relationships. It's not just us giving, we deserve respect from the other side too. So we want equality on that contract as well. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ms. Kemme. I appreciate that. Laura, was there anything else you wanted to wrap up with on that topic before we moved on to Kim?
Somebody had asked about my experience with Doc Verify. It was not good. So I let go of it. But I do have to say this. Others have, like Bill Bumfrey in Nevada and Cynthia Alexander in Florida, are having success with it, and they're doing RON assignments with it, and they can bring their own customers to it because they will let you do that. So, you know, as things get better, I'm sure that will work out as well. But personally, Doc Verify just wasn't for me because they don't have the personal support. It's all check the community FAQs, and I'm just not tech savvy enough to deal with that.
I love that. And that's been kind of the consensus opinion about that particular platform. Guys, one thing to consider is when these platforms were created, they really did not have the notary in mind. This was not designed for notaries to be used and to go out and build their business with. These were service portals for lenders and title companies and things like that, barely. You know, now we're starting to see, and I think we'll see a lot more of these because we say this all the time, this industry is ripe for innovation and people who take initiative to create that innovation. So I already know there's other platforms, they're coming and they're notary friendly. They're notaries affordable, you know, we can get in and do that. So it's just a matter of time. We're in that learning curve of new technology right now. All right, Kim Morris, thank you so much for your patience. If you'd like to unmute and ask your question, we're here for you. And Kim, you are unmuted, but I cannot hear you.
If you're wearing a headset, bring the mic down. That happened to me.
Did it?
You have it flipped up in your head, they can't hear you.
Kim, I think you're having tech problems. I apologize. I'm just going to put you back on mute, but you're welcome back anytime. Willie Ingram, thanks for being here. How can we help?
Thank you. First time commenting here, but I keep reading stuff about real estate market crash, and I'm pretty sure you guys have been through this before. What does that do to us newbies as loan signers? How does that affect us?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, we could go back in history and look at 2008, and Laura can share what it did. It was pretty devastating to loan signing agents. But to compare it to what we're going through now is difficult because we're not having that experience. And I'll tell you, and I'll share with you guys, you know, I built my business working with builders and title companies that service builders. And I really, you know, you never knew where things were going. In March was like, what's going to happen? You hear all these stories, but the volume has increased. Not only has it increased, but notary levels have decreased. Like a lot of notaries weren't going out and working. So the call volume is ridiculous right now and the signing volume's high. And so I've been staying in touch with my clients and the leadership in those offices. And while there is definitely some impact, they're probably losing per office about 20 contracts a week, but they're also selling 80 contracts a week. So that is pre-COVID. That's like 2 years ago busy. So it doesn't necessarily make logical sense. So we could sit and I could speculate for you what might possibly happen, but I just don't think it's a good use of energy right now because we do not have evidence to suggest that it's really slowing down just yet.
Well, that it really wasn't speculation on my part, just in case one does hit, just trying to find out how that affects us as loan signing agents.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked. Oh, I know Laura's got something, so go for it, Laura. Oh, she's muted.
Dang it. Okay, so we don't know when the next one comes, but we do know that real estate's volatile. It does have cycles. And it's, if we could all predict exactly when to jump in and jump out, we'd all be millionaires. But here's what I will tell you. I learned from 2008. And that is why I do G&W, because that grew when I didn't have any loan signing work in 2008. And so to have my own safety net, I started building other specialties. NSA is not the beginning and the end of the world. And so that's why you need to be diverse, because you know what? It will come. I don't know when. It's not if, it will. I don't know if it's now or if it's later, but I'm prepared for that. And I think the way you can be prepared for that is to make sure you're not a one-trick pony. You need to be able to do more than loan signings. Okay, there's my piece.
No, that's it. That's everything, because that's really how you combat this. Guys, it doesn't matter if we're talking about loan signing. We could be talking about aerospace engineering. We could talk about buying apartment buildings. The key to wealth and sustainability is multiple streams of revenue and diversity in your income streams. So if one slows down, you have the other. And that's why, since I've come into this business, I talk about the loan signings. That's where I made my mark. But guess what? I do general notary work. I do legal shield. I've got diverse streams of revenue coming in, so I can bolster that. It doesn't protect my business completely, right? Because there's who knows what could happen, but I've got other ways that I can make money, because my goal, my fear-based dream, I guess, would be having to go back to a call center. That would just be the end for me. Like if my business failed and I had to go back to a call center, I just couldn't take it. So that motivates me to get really creative about what I do every day. And this is a business that allows for creativity. There's no rules. I mean, we got our own rules for how to do our job, but when it comes to building our business and diversifying and making connections and finding revenue streams, there's nobody that just says, nope, you can't do that. Nope, you can't do that. We can do anything we can. We are mobile entrepreneurs, and there's so much that fits under that umbrella. Did that help, Willie?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome. Thanks for being here. All right, let's do Kim Morris. I wanted to give you another chance. Let me see if I can unmute you here. Kim, are you there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, sure can. We're here.
Okay, we're doing it without a headset. My headset's not working. Hi, Bill. Hi, Laura.
No.
My question is, I'm getting text messages from one signing company. Obviously, I'm not hitting it fast enough to get the sign-ins, but that's fine. I'm leaving on vacation in 3 weeks. I'm going to be gone to Boston for 2 weeks. My question is, should I go to my profiles and make sure that I am turned off from being visible to everyone, so nobody is sending me jobs while I'm away on vacation?
Great question, Kim, and good for you for getting us some time away. But I would say, so you have really two ways to handle it. Yes, turn it on vacation mode or away mode. Many companies offer that, some do not. Or commit to answering every single offer that comes through, because you want to make sure you stay active on the algorithm, and that would drive you crazy, or it'd drive me crazy on my vacation if I had to do that. So I'd probably just turn everything off, and it doesn't necessarily ding you negatively on that. Laura, do you agree?
Yeah, it's not negative. And for loan signing work, you're right, Bill. Not everybody has the process that they can turn you off and on, or they turn you off and they don't turn you back on, which could be a problem. Of course, if it's not loan signing work we're talking about, it's general. I continue to take calls. I have lots of other people that I send all that work to. And what I'll do is forward. I'll let them know, hey, I'm out of town for the next week. You, and you. If I get jobs, I'm sending them to you. And I love that I have a cohort of other notaries that I can send work to anytime, either because I'm on vacation, because I'm sick, because it's out of my area. Lots of reasons why I might not take a job, but I can move it into my community. And I love that.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, Laura. That really speaks to the importance of having your own little network of just people that you can count on. And we talk about this separately a lot of times, but you can't force those kinds of relationships. So if you don't have them yet, that's okay. Don't judge, don't make it mean something wrong. But in the course of this business, you are going to meet amazing people that blow your mind, and you're like, that's who I'm working with. That's who I would send a notary to. And then you're going to meet a lot of them that you'd say, I would never send somebody there. I would never do that. So you've got to just kind of feel it out and allow that to kind of organically grow.
Right, because I have a Facebook page that's Kim's Creative Solutions, and my husband just purchased me a domain on Google saying kimscreativesolutions.com, and I'm working on that Google page. And I was just going to set general on my Facebook pages that I'm on vacation. So if I do get dinged here in my town in Casa Grande, people know, okay, she's on vacation. Let's look for another notary until she gets back.
Yeah, that's definitely one way to handle it. I tend to like the way Laura handles it, because I know that every single appointment has the potential to meet somebody that's going to change my business forever.
Right.
And even if I can't be the ones doing the service, I want to be that contact. I want to know, what can I be a resource for you? Let's stay connected. Number one, I want you in my database. I want to say, hey, it was great connecting with you. I'll stay in touch with you to make sure you got your service, that kind of stuff. That's how, this business can be such a funnel for connection and building, growing, expanding when you look at it that way.
I thank you so much.
You're welcome, Kim. Thank you.
You don't know what call is going to change or give you an incredible assignment that turns into something. And I did a last minute for a doctor out in the doctor's area where they all live, just one document. And I ran out there, and it was a pain because it was a gated area. He wasn't picking up his phone, so I could get in, but I took care of it. And when I was done, the guy, the payer, which is in San Francisco, I'm in Modesto, and he took care of paying me by credit card. And then he said, I have a lot of doctors and dentists that I take care of all their financial portfolios. They're in Modesto. I've been driving out there, dragging them to UPS. It would be so much better if I could have a concierge service. I could just call you and you'll take care of it for me. Would you do that for me? You betcha.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So, and real quick, I have a story that speaks to that exact same thing on the loan signings, guys. And I know I've shared this story before, but I took this has happened to me 2 or 3 times now. And I took a real cheap refinance. I'd negotiated super low prices. I was doing it for $75. And of course it was an hour and a half down on the other side of town. But I went and I did it. I hit it off. We had a great time. And at the end, she goes, I am the manager of this builder's title company, second largest in the country. And I love the way you do your signings. Will you come in next week? I want to give you all of our signings. That one $75 appointment turned into a $100,000 a year client because I showed up, I did my job that I love to do in a spectacular way. And then I laid the foundation for a relationship that had the possibility to survive that transaction. I'm not just there to sign some papers. I'm there to connect. And that's the difference this business can make. Steve Licata, thanks for being here. You want to unmute and ask your question? Steve Licata, I'll try to unmute you as well. I love technology. Oh, I just muted you. Sorry, Steve. You do it, Steven.
There you go.
All right.
How's it going?
Hi. I appreciate your time. I wanted to ask, I just received my notary through the NNA. I want to continue to do the loan signing agent. What would be the logical order to do? Should I continue with the NNA and then get my loan signing agent and then try to take some continuing education like through you guys?
Good question. Laura, and I know you'll have an opinion on this too. I'll take the first one, and then you think of all the details. I think of the big picture stuff. But so the NNA is great for many, many things. Where I think they've fallen short on detail is the loan signing training. Still, they have the certification that is the industry standard. Everybody's got to have that NNA loan signing certification. It's $65 and it includes your criminal background check. You got to do that every year. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to get your training from the NNA. You certainly can, and you come out of it with really good overview. When you really want to get into the details, there's a little bit of a disconnect by what you sometimes learn in training and what happens in real life. What you want is a follow-up training or continuing education that teaches you what life is like in the trenches. Like, what is this really going to be like every single day? Do I have a script for this document? What if this happens? What if this happens? Because everything's going to happen. You could be doing this for 30 years and you're still going to get to experience new weird things that keep coming up, which is part of the excitement of it. So that's the kind of training that you want to do, is constantly do it. This business could effectively be your own training. If you started out so busy, if you started taking 6 signings a day and deliberately practiced every time you did a signing, you would be expert in 2 months. But it's usually a little slower than that. So you've got to supplement your experience with some sort of training that helps you reach your goal on that. Okay. So I would get your certificate. Like, I break it down in my 5-phase system. Become a notary, get your certification from the NNA, then get the training that is going to make you thrive in this business, then learn how to build the relationships, and then manage your business. That's the order that I usually suggest for Sign and Thrive. Laura, what do you say?
Yeah, a pretty similar opinion. A lot of you know I'm connected with the NNA, and their training gives you a great understanding of the industry and what's changed and about particular documents when they did the TRID and all of that. And it is basically the #1 recognized certification. So as Bill said, if you want the more hands-on documents and what you're really doing day to day, Bill's training and Carol's training are it for me. And then go back to the NNA and take their exam and their background screen and get their certification status. Excuse me.
Okay.
And I would actually do the NNA after you did the other training, because it will make more sense right away, right? When you're trying to take that exam, it's going to make more sense. And there are a couple of documents with their exam that are really going to help you pass the exam itself. So get good training. I've recommended 2 of them, and then get your NSA certification with the NNA.
Great, thank you. I did have one more question, and I wasn't sure if we've covered it before. If in my journal, if I were to write down someone's identification info, let's say I live in the state of Michigan, would I also write down, let's say, the numbers, like the identification number from a driver's license, or do I not write down that personal down that detailed?
So every state has a different rule, and there are quite a few states that do not allow you to write the numbers. They'll let you say what kind of ID it was. So for me to tell you Michigan state law off the top, I don't know. I certainly can find it out for you pretty quick. And if you reach out to me at my email, Biewer@sbcglobal.net, I'm happy to respond to you with your specific state
Thank you.
requirement. Other states like California, we can write everything. And our
Okay. Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. And Bill, I did want to say thank you. I was a winner of one of the prizes 2 weeks ago, and it's just, it's really been a nice start to try to learn more about all this. So I appreciate your time and everything you do.
Thank you so much for being here. You're welcome.
Yeah, my pleasure. Bye-bye.
We have so many more questions, but it is 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We are at an hour, and I really want to respect your time. So I apologize if we haven't got to your question. If you want to send me an email to orders@notarycoach.com, I'll keep a list and we will address those questions first next week, Laura. Do you think we can do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Excellent. And now we'll go ahead and bring the call to a close. Thank you so much. But we will do a prize drawing here after the call. So we'll be on. If you want to hang out and see if you win a prize or two, you are welcome to do so. To register for the prize, all you have to do is go to www.notarycoach.com/prize. Just enter your name in there. I'm going to bring up my list, and we're just going to randomly draw some numbers. And we're going to give away some prizes. Hey, Laura, what do you think about giving away a Laura Biewer Presents today?
Yeah, go right on ahead.
All right.
And then I'm going to have to skedaddle. I have a 1:15.
Oh, yep. I totally understand. We'll go ahead and do this real quick. Guys, this is going to be for Laura Biewer Presents Replay Library. Now, Laura has really clearly the expert on general notary work and building your business. And she's put together this library of training materials that goes super deep, super specific into document training, how to handle these certain types of appointments like living wills, living trusts, last wills and testament and living trusts, powers of attorney, the jailhouse signings, the hospital signing, getting more hospital work, all of that contained in here. And it continues to grow on a monthly basis. So the retail value of this is $97 for lifetime access. It's already a good deal. And we're going to go ahead and raffle one of these away right now. So, of course, my internet is running like it's 1996 again, so bear with me a minute. There we go. Okay, looks like we have 99 people that have registered for this first prize. So, all right, number 19 has won. Bear with me 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gina Marie Saras. Gina Marie, thank you so much for being here. Elle, you're right here in Arizona as well. Congratulations, you are the winner of LBP. So I will grant you access. I already have your email information. So we are good to go on that one. Congratulations on that one. And thank you, Laura. I know you have to go. So thanks for being here. Thank you. And thank you to everyone else. If you have to bail out, totally understand. Thank you for growing yourself and your business on the Tuesday. Let's keep giving away some prizes now that it's just you and me. And thank you guys for all the support. It's been my 3rd anniversary of Sign and Thrive, and I've been loving giving away all the Gina.
I just won something.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Gina.
Oh, sorry.
You need a tissue?
No, I was telling my friend asked me why I screamed, and I said,
Awesome.
Sorry, I thought I was on mute. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll get that over to you soon. Okay, let's do signed copy of Sign and Thrive, How to Make 6 Figures as a Mobile Notary and Loan Signing Agent. That's the book that I wrote. We'll do a signed and inscribed copy of that. Let's see how many people we have registered now. This always seems to change as we start giving away prizes for some reason. There we go, 115. All right. Number 70, bear with me 1 second. 2, 3, 4, 5. Amina Payne. Amina, I think you already have a copy of my signed book. I'll send you another one if you'd like, or I can send you one of the LinkedIn for personal branding books. I'll reach out to you via email.
She doesn't have a signed copy.
Oh, she doesn't?
No.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, I'll get you a signed copy, Amina, and I'll inscribe that to you as well. I love all your support. Looking forward to seeing you this Sunday at book club, hopefully. All right, let's do another kind of a big one, guys. This one I really enjoy. We're gonna do, this is courtesy of the National Notary Association as well. NNA has really stepped up, given us some cool prizes, helping to distribute the Sign and Thrive book too. This is their growth and support package, I think. So you get the Loan Signing Agent Success Handbook, you get a copy, a signed copy of the Sign and Thrive book, and then you get the Loan Documents Source book. I think this retails for like 60, 70 bucks on NNA. So this is a really cool prize, especially if you're just getting started today. So we will, let's see how many people we got registered on this one. Oh, 129. All right, guys. Thanks for playing. Let's do this. Oh, of course, it's almost at the end, so bear with me 1 second. 124. All right, Connie Canaday. Connie Canaday, you are the winner of the NNA's Success and Growth Bundle. Connie, thank you for all of your support. Really appreciate you. Glad to have you in Sign and Thrive as well, and in Nevada as well. So Connie, I will get this out to you. Oh, let me write this down because I forget. Growth, Connie Canaday. Wonderful, guys. That's going to be it for today. Thank you so much again for growing yourself and your business today. Keep your eye out on my Facebook page and on my Instagram page. It's at Bill Soroka. There are 2 posts in both places where I ask you, what's on your notary wish list? If you'd like to participate, please dream big, dream specific, use links, get real clear on what you're asking from the universe or from the genie or whatever you're asking for, and share that with us. And who knows, maybe your wishes will come true. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk with you later.